Hey everyone, imagine this: you're still young, energetic, maybe even in your 30s or 40s. While your friends are grinding away, you're on a beach somewhere, or hiking a mountain, or maybe just chilling at home, doing absolutely anything you want, because you don't have to work. Sounds like the ultimate dream, right? The freedom to choose your own schedule, your own life, totally free from the daily grind. That's the shiny, sparkling promise of early retirement that so many people chase, and it's a powerful vision. But what if I told you that for many, many people, that dream, once achieved, isn't quite as satisfying as they imagined? What if the very thing they worked so hard for actually leaves them feeling lost? It's a conversation that hardly anyone has, because, well, who wants to admit that they failed at retirement? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on what nobody really explains about retiring early: the human side, the emotional roller coaster, and the unexpected challenges that financial independence won't prepare you for. First, let's get on the same page. What even is early retirement? It's not just about stopping work. Technically, it means you've saved up enough money so that your investments can cover your living expenses for the rest of your life, without you needing to earn an active income from a job. People often aim for a nest egg that's about 25 times their annual expenses. So if you spend $40,000 a year, you'd need $1 million saved. The early part simply means doing this significantly sooner than the traditional retirement age, like before 65. This whole concept has been supercharged by something called the FIRE movement, that stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. It's become a huge community, especially online, of people dedicated to saving aggressively, cutting costs, and investing smart, all to achieve the dream of never having to work for money again. It's inspiring, honestly, to see people so focused on their goals. But sometimes, in the race to hit those financial numbers, we forget about the human numbers, the emotional ones. Okay, let's bust the first big myth right out of the gate. The popular image of early retirement is non-stop vacation. Lounging on a beach, cocktail in hand, zero worries. And yeah, for a bit, that might be true. But imagine doing that for weeks, then months, then years. For many people, the novelty wears off surprisingly fast. The human brain craves purpose, challenge, and connection. Once the vacation feeling fades, an unexpected emptiness can creep in. You realize a beach is just a beach, without something more. Let me tell you about Mark. He was a software engineer, brilliant, worked 80-hour weeks for years, saving every penny. By 42, he hit his FIRE number. He bought a small sailboat, moved to a coastal town, and for the first few months, it was pure bliss. Sailing, reading, enjoying slow mornings. But then, he started feeling restless. He missed the complex problems at work, the camaraderie with his team, the feeling of building something meaningful. His victory felt hollow without a clear direction. See, for Mark, and for many of us, our job isn't just a paycheck. It's a huge part of our identity. When someone asks, "What do you do?" your answer defines a big chunk of who you are, what skills you have, what value you bring to the world. When you retire early, especially if you loved your career, you suddenly lose that immediate answer. You have to redefine yourself, and that can be really disorienting. It's like a superhero losing their powers and having to figure out who they are without the cape. Another huge, often overlooked, aspect is the loss of daily structure. Think about it: waking up at a certain time, commuting, deadlines, meetings, projects. All of this gives your day a framework. When you retire early, suddenly, every day is an empty canvas. While that sounds amazing, it can be overwhelming. Without external demands, some people struggle with motivation, procrastinate endlessly, or feel a lack of direction. Building your own structure from scratch is much harder than you think. And then there's social connection. A huge part of our social lives revolves around work. Your colleagues, clients, industry events, these are sources of friendships, networking, and simply regular human interaction. When you step away, that network often shrinks dramatically. Your friends are still working, so their schedules don't align with your newfound freedom. This can lead to surprising feelings of loneliness and isolation, even if you're surrounded by family. It's a silent, emotional drain. Consider Sarah, who retired at 38 from a demanding marketing job. She looked forward to endless coffee dates and lunches with her former colleagues. But soon, she realized they were always busy during the day. Their conversations were about work projects she knew nothing about. She started feeling like an outsider, slowly drifting from her once close friends. Her husband was still working too, so her days felt long and quiet. She eventually started volunteering, not just for the cause, but for the social interaction. Here's another big misconception, that early retirement is always a proactive, intentional choice made after years of careful planning. And while it often is, for a significant number of people, it's actually forced upon them. Think about it: unexpected health issues, a family crisis requiring full-time care, or a company layoff that hits older employees first. These situations can push people into early retirement not because they reached their financial goals, but because they simply couldn't continue working. For these individuals, early retirement isn't a dream come true, it's a sudden, jarring change that comes with a whole new set of anxieties. Not only might their financial situation be precarious, but they also grapple with feelings of rejection, anger, and a sense of lost identity. They didn't choose this, so the emotional landscape is entirely different from someone who meticulously planned their exit. It's a heavy burden, layered with uncertainty and often, regret. Retiring early can also put a surprising strain on relationships, especially with your partner. If one person retires and the other doesn't, dynamics shift dramatically. The working partner might feel resentment that they're still grinding while the other is free. The retired partner might feel isolated or like a burden. Even if both retire, suddenly being around each other 24/7 can expose new frictions. Communication and setting expectations before are absolutely crucial, but often overlooked. David retired at 45, thrilled to pursue his hobbies. His wife, Maria, was 47 and still loved her job. Initially, it was fine, but then David started feeling Maria should do more chores since he was home. Maria resented this, feeling he undervalued her work. He also felt lonely when she was at the office, while she felt guilty enjoying her job knowing he was home. Their dream of his early retirement became a source of daily friction, creating a chasm between them that took serious effort to bridge. Okay, third myth, that early retirement is solely a financial equation. Get the number, you're good. While the money is absolutely necessary, it's far from sufficient. This is where many FIRE enthusiasts hit a wall. They meticulously plan their investments, their budgets, their withdrawal rates. They know exactly how much they need to live on. But they spend little to no time planning for the actual life part of retirement. What will you do with all that time? How will you stay fulfilled? Without a plan for purpose, connection, and identity, the mental health toll can be significant. Studies show that people who retire early without a clear plan for their non-working life can be at higher risk for depression, anxiety, and a general decline in cognitive function. Your brain needs to be stimulated. It needs challenges and problems to solve. Just sitting around, even in paradise, isn't enough to keep it sharp and happy long-term. This is a quiet crisis for many. The biggest challenge is often filling the what next void. You've spent years, maybe decades, working towards this one goal, early retirement. Once you achieve it, that goal disappears. It's like training for a marathon for years, running the race, and then, nothing. No next race, no next goal. This vacuum can be incredibly unsettling. You need new goals, new passions, new ways to contribute and feel useful. And finding those can be a surprisingly difficult journey of self-discovery. Alex was a financial analyst who retired at 35. He had all the money, all the time. He spent the first year traveling the world, living his best life. But when he came back, the excitement waned. He tried different hobbies, painting, learning guitar, but nothing stuck. He felt a constant low-level dissatisfaction, a sense of aimlessness. He realized he had chased the financial freedom so hard, he forgot to define what freedom actually meant to him beyond not working. He was financially free but emotionally adrift. So, what's the real lesson here? It's not that early retirement is bad or impossible. Far from it. It's that it's not just about money, it's about life design. It's about intentionally crafting a fulfilling life before you step away from traditional work. Don't wait until you're retired to figure out what makes you tick, what gives you purpose, and who you want to spend your time with. Start exploring those questions now, while you're still working. One of the most crucial elements of successful early retirement is having a strong sense of purpose that doesn't rely on a paycheck. This could be volunteering for a cause you deeply care about, pursuing a passion project, starting a small business just for fun, or dedicating yourself to learning new skills. The key is to have something that makes you jump out of bed in the morning, feeling excited and useful. What would that be for you? You also need to actively cultivate your social connections outside of work. Join clubs, take classes, volunteer, pursue hobbies that involve other people. Build a diverse network of friends and acquaintances who share your interests, not just your career path. This way, when your work network diminishes, you'll still have a robust support system and plenty of people to share your newfound freedom with. Don't rely solely on your work friends, because they'll be busy at work. And seriously, plan for your time. Think about what a typical week looks like for you after work. What will your mornings be like? Afternoons? Evenings? How will you structure your days to feel productive and engaged, not just busy? This doesn't mean scheduling every minute, but having some anchors, a regular exercise routine, a volunteer shift, a creative project you commit to daily. Treat your free time with the same respect you'd give a work schedule. For many, a phased approach to early retirement works best. Instead of abruptly quitting your job, maybe you transition to part-time work, or take on a consulting role, or start a side hustle that eventually replaces your main income. This allows you to slowly disengage from your primary career while building up other areas of your life and testing out what truly brings you joy and purpose. It's a bridge, not a sudden leap, which can make all the difference emotionally. A great example of a phased approach is Coast Fire. This means you save and invest enough money in your early career that you don't need to contribute any more to your retirement accounts. Your existing investments will coast and grow on their own to a full retirement sum by traditional retirement age. You can then work less, pursue a lower-paying but more fulfilling job, or take longer sabbaticals, without the pressure of needing to save for retirement. It's financial independence without the immediate retire early pressure. Another fantastic strategy is mini retirements. Instead of waiting decades for one big retirement, why not take shorter, intentional breaks throughout your working life? Maybe you take a 3-month sabbatical every 5 to 7 years to travel, learn a new skill, or simply recharge. This gives you a taste of that freedom while still allowing you to build your career in finances. It breaks up the monotony and helps you discover what you truly value in a non-working phase, without the full commitment. Ultimately, the success of early retirement hinges on your why. Why do you want to retire early? Is it just to escape something you hate, or are you moving towards something you genuinely love? If it's just an escape, you'll likely find yourself in a similar void. But if you're moving towards a life filled with purpose, connection, and growth, then early retirement can truly be a beautiful thing. Spend time defining your why beyond just no more work. Even after you hit your financial number, remember that life is unpredictable. There will be unexpected expenses, market downturns, or new passions that require funding. So, ongoing financial checkups and flexibility are key. Don't just set it and forget it. Regularly review your investments, adjust your spending if needed, and always have an emergency fund. Financial independence is about freedom, but it still requires smart stewardship. Thinking about early retirement isn't just a sprint to accumulate money, it's a marathon of self-discovery and life planning. The money part is just one component. The real work is understanding yourself, your values, your aspirations, and building a life that supports those, whether you're working or not. It's a continuous process, not a destination you arrive at and then stop thinking about. So, embrace the journey, even if it feels a bit overwhelming at times. There's no single right way to retire early. For some, it might mean traditional early retirement. For others, it's barista fire, where you cover basic expenses with investments and work a fun, low-stress part-time job for extra cash and social interaction. Or lean fire, living super frugally. Or fat fire, living a lavish early retirement. The important thing is to find the path that aligns with your values and your vision for a fulfilling life. Make it your own. So, here's the hopeful takeaway: early retirement, when approached thoughtfully and holistically, can be an incredible path to a truly rich and meaningful life. It's not about escaping work, it's about designing a life where you have the freedom to pursue what truly matters to you. It's about proactive choices, not just reactive ones. It's about being intentional with your time, your energy, and your passions, long before you ever consider leaving your job. For you, as teenagers, thinking about this now is a massive advantage. You have so much time to build a strong foundation. Don't just focus on getting a job, start thinking about what truly interests you, what problems you want to solve, and what kind of impact you want to make. Start learning about personal finance early: saving, investing, budgeting. These skills will empower you to create choices later, whether you retire early or not. It's about building financial freedom and life fulfillment. Here are some questions to ponder. What would you do if money wasn't an issue? What problems in the world annoy you? What skills do you genuinely enjoy using? Who do you love spending time with? What does a perfect week look like for you, even if you still work? The answers to these questions are clues to your personal purpose and the blueprint for a fulfilling life, regardless of when or if you decide to retire from traditional work. So next time you hear someone talking about early retirement, remember it's about so much more than just the numbers in your bank account. It's a profound human journey, full of emotional twists and turns, identity crises, and the ultimate quest for purpose and connection. It's a chance to rewrite your life story, but only if you've done the deep, introspective work beforehand. Don't just chase the finish line, plan for the incredible, fulfilling life that comes after it.